Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Salami. Today we're doing something a bit different. We're just going to have a chat about Steam Deck, and I want everyone's opinion on how they're feeling. I'm only doing this because it's just been over 2 years, so a belated 2-year anniversary of owning a Steam Deck, and so it's my Steam Deck in 2025 video, just putting the feelers out, seeing how everyone in the community is feeling about Steam Deck, and I'm just going to talk about how I feel about mine. I'm still in love with the system. It's always exciting to try new games or go back and play older ones that I may have missed. I think that's the big point here is there's so many games out there that I've missed over the years, from the PS1 to the PS2 era, PS3 era, even the PS4 and 5 era. The Steam Deck lets you go back and enjoy some of those titles most of the time. And only now we're starting to find games that just aren't Steam Deck compatible. For me, a couple of major ones that I did want to play and I haven't got around to now would be something like Dragon's Dogma 2, which is available on things like GeForce Now, or I could stream it through my PC. And, you know, I've done that in the past for other PC titles. The last one would have been Silent Hill 2, where I personally did not think it was playable on Steam Deck natively. And same for Space Marine 2. Again, they just, to me, weren't up to scratch to be able to be played on a native Steam Deck hardware. And that's perfectly fine, because then we get things like Avowed and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which seem to be working out of the box on Steam Deck, which is really nice to see. So at the moment, there is a bit of a mixed bag in terms of AAA titles that are working on Steam Deck, but I think more often than not, we're in a pretty good spot. But of course, you know, as time goes on, things will change. But with that in mind, I'm diligently awaiting the new Legion Go, the Legion Go 2, as it's going to be OLED and it's going to have the new Z2 Extreme AMD CPU. And I'm kind of wanting to get my hands on one, so fingers crossed I can save some money and pick that up sometime after launch. Again, I'm in New Zealand, so importing one is my only option, so it's going to be a bit rough, but we'll see how we go. So I just want to know, are people still trying to play AAA games on theirs, or are you guys being more like realistic and using it more for older titles? Like a lot of my videos on how to get older titles running on Steam Deck, things like the Need for Speed games or Chronicles of Riddick and things like that. Like, do you prefer to use them for older or newer, or is it a mix? I would personally say I mix it up between my titles. I've been playing Titan Quest, as you can see in the background. I've also been playing Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is like a brand new release. So it really depends on the day and the time, on what I want to play on my device. But at a 2-year anniversary in 2025, I'm really happy with Steam Deck and Valve in general with their ongoing support going forward. And if they think about doing a Steam machine again, like as a home console, I'd be, now with their more noticeable track record, I would be more inclined to pick up one of their Steam machines. As their first time around, they didn't do very good with them. But yeah, we'll see how we go into the future with that side of it. And for me, the Steam Deck's been a life changer in terms of this. I never in my wildest dreams did I think I would make content about a handheld, but I just love doing it. It's just so much fun. And I really appreciate the comments. Like, it's so nice to see people that get a game up and running that they've been wanting to play since childhood and be able to play it on the go. And it just is really nice. So I really appreciate it when people comment and say that it works. And when it doesn't work, it's always like a bit of troubleshooting. So we usually get it sorted, but sometimes I do miss the messages and I'm like, whoops. So I do apologize if I do miss your message. I can't always keep up. But moving on from there, like, the Steam Deck definitely has increased my playtime as a console, because not being tethered to the TV is huge, more than you think. And it's great for moving around the house. I sometimes lie on the couch in the lounge, sometimes in bed or in the spare room. It really depends on the day. So I'm a huge proponent of the Steam Deck these days, and I'll keep playing it until I can't play it any longer, or the Steam Deck 2 arrives, which I hope is sooner rather than later. But like I say, I'll try my hardest to get a Legion 2, because that will be awesome. Moving forward, one interesting thing about the Steam Deck, and now that I'm completely locked into the handheld market for gaming, my PS5 will get used. I used it to play through Rebirth earlier this year, or last year. But ideally, I just want to play on my handheld machines these days. One thing that I've come to realize is handhelds are getting a massive, right? Like, they are really big. And so my next goal is to get a PSP. I've got a couple of PSPs that I got really cheap, and they're working, but their cases are buggered and they're missing batteries, and their battery cases are missing, like the covers and things like that. So you're going to see a video hopefully next month of me doing a complete restoration of a PSP, and just even holding the PSP after having one when I was a teenager. It's so nice to go back. It's like, man, I can just slip this in my pocket and take it to work. Where you just the Steam Deck and a ROG Ally or a Legion Go, you just can't do that. They're just too big. So there is that other side of it where it's like, maybe handhelds have gotten too big, but they're a home handheld or a plain handheld. Like, they're not. There's two tiered of handhelds. There's like an actual handheld, and then there's a gaming handheld. I guess you could put it that way. But I'd love to know what you guys think about that, and do you have any strong memories with the PSP? I certainly do. That was the first handheld that really grabbed my attention and got me. I mean, I'd had a Game Boy Pocket and a Nintendo DS before that, but I think it was the PSP that really showed me that handhelds could be the future, and they didn't have to all be kids games, because we've been locked to Nintendo platforms mostly. I never had a Sega. Whatever the Sega handheld was, that wasn't a thing for me. So, it's really crazy to think that in 2025, I want to be using a PSP just for real quick pick up and go games. You know what I mean? Not constant gaming. Like the Steam Deck, which is for my hardcore gaming. That's such a weird way to put it, but that's how I'm thinking about it. And so yeah, we're gonna do some like comparisons with PSP games and stuff like that, because that's kind of fun. And again, you can do emulation of PSP on the Steam Deck, which I've done and will continue to do, but it's going to be nice to have an actual PSP up and running again with a massive like 32 or 3600 milliamp battery. Like, the lifespan on that thing is going to be massive. And then modding it to use SD card ROMs of games will be awesome, not having to rely on the UMD drive. I still think the UMD drive, when the PSP came out, was revolutionary in terms of game size, instead of having to buy a cartridge. But as Nintendo proves, cartridges are still the way to go, and even now, so who knows. But without dilly-dallying too long and talking hogwash any longer, my report for 2025 with Steam Deck is that it's still a solid machine and deserves a lot of attention going forward. And I can't wait to see what Valve does next. And I'm going to keep putting out as many videos as I can. Or, I'm just enjoying going through with this. Like, it's such a fun thing to do in my spare time as a hobby on top of everything else. I've got a 3D printer now. I'm getting back into painting Warhammer or Age of Sigmar. I'm going to try and get back into Warhammer 40,000 as well. So there's just a lot going on, and I really appreciate this channel and you guys with your awesome comments asking for games and saying thank you. It's been a life changer, the Steam Deck, in terms of my hobby time and my side projects like working on videos. So thank you so much, and everyone, let me know how you're going with your Steam Decks. If you're still on the LCD, if you've moved over to OLED, I'd love to know. Without further ado, thank you very much and have a great afternoon. Catch you guys later.